Today we're going to talk about vaccines. Vaccines. The reason why many of us have developed a disproportionate fear to needles. Worldwide, vaccine programs have been very successful against multiple contagious diseases. Let's check briefly today some basic important concepts about vaccines. So let's talk first about how vaccines work. So vaccines are a way of teaching your body how to fight the germs that cause infections like viruses or bacteria. When germs, such as those, get into your body, they multiply and attack your cells, and your immune system responds by creating something called antibodies. Those substances help you fight the infection, recover from it, and avoid becoming sick in the future. Next time you're exposed to that same germ, your immune system will remember that and quickly will produce the antibodies required to destroy the germ. In some cases, antibody protection lasts for life. In other cases, you need to get regular boosters with vaccines to maintain your immunity. So in a nutshell, vaccines stimulate your immune system to produce antibodies like it would if you had an infection. However, unlike bacteria and viruses, vaccines do not actually make you sick. Let's talk about the types of immunity. Immunity itself is the protection we get against infections, and there are two ways to get that protection. Active immunity. This is when you get antibodies either by having the infection and getting better, which is called natural immunity, or by getting a vaccine that triggers your immune system to produce the antibodies. Passive immunity is when you receive the antibodies that someone else developed. They are given to you from a pool of donors. This gives you only temporary protection to people who have been exposed to a specific germ. It is definitely good, but inferior to active immunity and the use of vaccines. When enough people in a community are immune to a disease, then that disease can no longer spread easily. And a certain number of people need to be immunized or immune for that to happen. That's what we call herd immunity. For this, lots of people need to get vaccinated. This helps protect the people who cannot get vaccinated for some reason, like those with immune system deficiencies or people with cancer. Vaccines help reduce the number of people who can spread the infection, and that is the key there. An example of a successful vaccine program is smallpox. Before a vaccine was available, smallpox killed millions of people every year. As a result of an intensive vaccination program, smallpox has been completely eliminated throughout the world. You can't find a case of smallpox ever. There are different types of vaccines. However, we can talk about two big groups. Some vaccines are called live vaccines because they are made with a weakened form of the organism or of the germ. Such vaccines should be avoided in certain groups of people, like those with suppressed immunity or pregnancy. An example of that type of vaccine is the measles vaccine or the rubella vaccine. Other vaccines are made with dead organisms, pieces of them, or with the information that codes some of their pieces, like the mRNA vaccines that we're talking about now with COVID. Rightfully, many are concerned about the risks of vaccines. It makes total sense. However, vaccines have a long record of being a safe and effective way of preventing disease. Before a vaccine is approved for use, it has to go through a specific process to test it for safety. Researchers study in clinical trials how well the vaccine works and how many people had side effects. The results are reviewed, and experts, not from the drug companies, must agree that the vaccine is safe and effective enough to be given to the public. In most cases, the benefits of vaccinating are much greater than the potential risks. It is true that some people may experience side effects after getting a vaccine, but these are usually mild and do not mean the vaccine causes illness. Remember that in medicine, everything is a balance between the risk and the benefit. Obviously, there are some contraindications to vaccination. There are some cases in which a person should not receive a specific vaccine. In some cases, for example, a particular vaccine might not be recommended for people with serious allergies to components of the vaccine. For example, people with a known egg allergy should not receive the yellow fever vaccine. In other cases, live virus vaccines, including the measles, mumps, rubella vaccine and the varicella vaccine, which is a chickenpox, are generally not recommended for those with a weak immune system, like patients with cancer, or during pregnancy, since there is an increased risk of infection as a result of the vaccination. So these are my 5 points to remember about vaccines. First, vaccines train the immune system. Second, they create active immunity. Third, they help create herd immunity. Fourth, they're developed and tested for their safety. And 5, some people may have some contraindications. We certainly have come a long way in healthcare. Our ability to live longer compared to 60 or 80 years ago does not come mainly due to the advances in surgery or medical technology. Those things are important. But we've lived so long now, actually because of public health interventions that we have had, like vaccines. Well, I hope you liked this content today. This is a short message with a lot of information for you. If you want to listen to more of these messages, if you want to learn more about this, just make sure that you come back here to our channel. Subscribe.